Today is January the 7th, 2014. My name is Michele Wesley, and I would like to read you a story on the night that changed my life. On March 3rd, 2012, at the age of 26, I went to a nightclub to attend a concert. Later, I left and went to another nightclub called the Black Diamond. Approximately 3 a.m., I was exiting the club to go home. Suddenly, I heard a gunshot. As I exited the door, I immediately fell, unaware that I had been shot. I will remember it like it was yesterday. I found myself lying on the ground saying to myself, I hope they don't leave me alone. I heard someone talking to me and shining a flashlight into my eyes. They kept saying, keep your eyes open. The paramedics are on the way. I told the person to keep talking to me so I wouldn't close my eyes. I was afraid. He told me that I would be okay. When the paramedics arrived, I asked another person if it was okay for me to close my eyes now. He said, yes, you will be okay. I closed my eyes and I woke up in St. Mary's Hospital with my family and friends standing around my bed crying. I told them it was okay. At least I was alive. However, it was at that time I found out that I was shot in the neck and was paralyzed, also with a spinal cord injury. I was in the intensive care unit and I was being fed through an IV. After time, I gradually gained my strength and was able to eat solid food. I had low blood pressure, which kept me from sitting up. Therapy was very difficult. It was also difficult learning how to sit up in a wheelchair. The therapist insisted I would get better. After being in the hospital for 2 months, I was released to Edward J. Healy Rehabilitation. I finally realized how serious my injuries were because of slow progress. I remained in Edward J. Healy for 6 months. My body was healing very slowly. However, I had strange side effects. My body would burn internally, but on the outside, I would be very cold. My body was going through a terrible phase. I tried going outside, but had to return. I finally started gaining mobility in my neck and arms and was able to feed myself with a feeding device. September 20th, 2012, I came home for good. I did not realize how difficult it would be for me. I was totally dependent. This was also hard on my mom because I would not receive 24-hour care from Medicaid. I began outpatient therapy at the Delray Beach Medical Center for 8 months out of 2 days of the week. However, not receiving more therapy became frustrating to me. I went from receiving therapy 5 days a week to 2 days a week. Living with a spinal cord injury became very uncomfortable. I would either be too cold or too hot, or both at the same time. I had a lot of nerve damage, and my body just couldn't regulate correctly. They taught me how to do my morning care and how to do exercises so that I wouldn't be stiff. I stopped receiving therapy from March to June. Then I started receiving outpatient therapy at St. Mary's Hospital from the end of June to the beginning of September 2013. At the beginning of September 2013, I went to a brain and spinal cord rehabilitation in Orlando, Florida. There I learned how to stand up for 2 hours, and I also used other equipment that helped my body to gain more mobility. I also was getting more trunk control and learning how to sit up by myself for at least 5 minutes. The therapist also used electrical stim units to activate my muscles in my legs and arms. I cried tears of joy when I noticed for the first time my legs moved. Upon my return home, I went to visit a therapist. For over 20 years, he had worked with many spinal cord injuries. He evaluated me and told me I showed signs of continuing progress. He introduced me to the Stem Cell Institution. Since speaking with a therapist and a doctor there, I was told to fill out an application. I sent off my medical reports as I was directed also. A week later, I received the email that I was accepted for a stem cell treatment, and there was an opening for me to begin. However, the obstacle is with Medicaid. It's difficult trying to get full-time nursing because of the high level injury that I have. I have gained more feelings, and I continue to have severe muscle spasms and nerve pains. I have been told by doctors that these are good signs. The stem cell treatment will help regenerate the damaged nerves, but I need financial support for this treatment. With this treatment, I will be able to take care of my 3-year-old daughter, continue my education, and begin to be active in church all over. Even though I have learned to do things differently in my wheelchair, I see myself becoming more independent and having a better life for myself. This stem cell procedure will cost $32,000 a month, including therapy and transportation to and from the hotels. But my insurance will not pay for the procedure. Medicaid will also not cover the cost of 2 nurses. I will need a hospital bed that costs $400 and a special lift to enable me getting out of the bed, which also costs $400. And my hotel stay is at a rate of $129 per night. The treatment is in Panama City, Panama. Finally, I will not know if I will need a second stem cell treatment until the first treatment is done. I am scheduled March the 10th, 2014 till April the 4th, 2014 for my trip. I have opened up a foundation at Wells Fargo. The name of my foundation is Michele's Spinal Cord Injury Foundation. I'm asking if you can help donate anything to help me so that I may have a better life and gain as much as mobility as I can. thank you for your support.